All right, so this morning we're going to start with a little bit of a breathing exercise. So come and lay down on your back, nice and flat with your knees bent, just at a relaxed angle, and then your head flat on the floor. I want you to lengthen the back of your neck so that your chin tucks down very slightly. So you'll feel a bit of elongation at the back of the neck there. And then broaden through your collarbones and just rest your hands on your rib cage, either side of the ribs here. So your fingertips are kind of coming towards each other through the center. Take a big breath in and feel that your ribs expand into the palms of your hands. And then breathe out and feel that your ribs come back towards each other and sink downwards a little bit. And you can give them a little push at the end. Inhale, let them widen. And then exhale, sink them downwards and towards each other. And I'd like you to start to feel a little bit of an abdominal contraction to get those ribs coming towards each other. So inhale, widen. Exhale, sink back towards each other. Let's do 3 more breaths here. Inhale, let the ribs expand, feel them press outwards into your palms. Exhale, sink the ribs down, feel the stomach muscles switch on to pull the ribs towards each other. And 1 more big breath in and out. Good. So let's sink those ribs down and just keep them a little bit sunk. All right. Imagine there's a heavy book resting on top of them. Through your lower spine, I want you to feel that there's a small space under the lower back. We're going to try and keep that small space open throughout this abdominal series. So the movement here is going to come from the ribs, not from the pelvis. All right. So keep that little gap under the lower back. Reach your hands either side of you. Breathe in. And now breathe out, sink the ribs further in towards the belly, curl forward, lifting up. When you get to the top, take a breath in. Make sure you haven't flattened your lower back, and then breathe out to lower back down. So inhale at the bottom, exhale, curl forward, feel the ribs slide downwards and towards each other. Inhale when you get to the top, exhale to lie back down. So we're taking it really slow for the first 8. Exhale, curl forward. Try and get that movement to start here at the ribs. Good. And then lower back down rather than starting with your head and neck. So we've got the length at the back of the neck, the ribs slide down, you inhale, hold at the top, and then you exhale, lower back down. If you're starting to get any neck tightness, you can place 1 hand behind your head, and that will just support the weight of your head for your neck. But otherwise, we'll keep going with the arms by our sides. Let's go 2 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. And 1 more time, we're going to curl up, hold. As you inhale, we'll raise the arms backwards over our heads. Exhale, hands come back by your sides. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, curl forwards. Inhale, raise the arms back. Exhale, bring the hands back by your side. Inhale, lower down. Again, you can place 1 hand behind your head if you want that support for your neck. And then rest. And we're still trying to get that movement to initiate from the rib cage. Make sure you're using that breathing pattern. We want to have control of the movements by having control of our breath. Good. Rest down for a moment. Let the head relax. Bring your legs to tabletop. We're going to continue with that same movement. Just make sure that that little gap under your lower back is still there so we could fit that blueberry without squashing it. Let's breathe out, curl forwards. Breathe in, arms overhead. Breathe out, arms back down. Breathe in, lower the head. Let's do 6 of these. Exhale, lift. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rest the head back down. I'm going to use my hand behind my head. My neck's a bit sore today. Good. Okay, so now that we're in double tabletop, you should feel that those lower abdominals are being used as well as the upper abdominals. So we feel that the upper abdominals are sinking the ribs down and the lower abdominals are keeping the legs nice and stable. We'll go for 2 more here before we add some legs into our movement. And 1 more time, let's curl forwards, pause at the top as the arms go overhead. 1 leg extends, bring that leg back in, and then lie down. Other side, let's lift up, stretch out, bring back in, and then lie down. Good, keep going with this. As your leg extends, that's when you want to feel those lower abdominals doing even more effort. to stop your lower back from arching. So we're really working on this neutral spine position here. And Suze, if your lower back isn't liking this, you can either keep the head down or you could keep your legs down and just do the upper body work. Just so there's a bit less strain on your back. We've got 3 more here. 3 more for each side. Let's lift, stretch, good. Come back in, lie down, lift, stretch, come back in, lie down. Make sure you've still got that breathing pattern. 1 more for each leg. Let's lift, stretch out, lower down, rest, and last one. Lift, stretch out, lower down, and rest. Keep your legs at tabletop if you can. Place your hands behind your head. Now, I know we all really enjoyed the crisscross last time, so we're going to do that again. Curl forward, lifting the head, neck, and shoulders. We're going to keep our neck supported for this whole set. Stretch your left leg out, turn your chest to the right. Come back to the center and swap. Good. Center, swap. So what we want to feel here is that the rotation is coming from the rib cage, not from the pelvis. So we've still got our blueberry under our lower back, and you can feel that your weight rests on your tailbone rather than switching from one side to your pelvis to the other. Try to keep one leg at tabletop as the other one extends. Think of your rib coming towards your opposite hip rather than your elbow coming towards your knee, so that the movement really comes from the rib cage, not just from the shoulders. Let's turn to the left and hold. Keep that right leg extended. We're going to do 5 oblique crunches towards the left knee. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. 3, very good. 2, 1 more. Good, back to the middle. Let's crisscross again. So we'll twist left, middle, right, middle. Good. Exhale as you twist across and inhale as you come back through the center. Good, feeling those obliques switch on. Keep that head up if you can. Again, your options would be to keep the head down or keep the feet down and just do the chest lift work. 1 more to each side. Let's go left, middle, right. Stay here. Let's lower down and come up. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more lift and hold. Bring your legs back to tabletop. Take your hands behind your right calf. Stretch your left leg out away from you. Use a little bit of pressure through your hands to curl a little higher, and then swap legs. Pulse, pulse, and swap. Pulse, pulse, swap. So we're getting a little bit of a hamstring stretch here as we pull the leg towards us, and we're staying lifted through the chest. Take a moment, check you've got your little blueberry under your back, and check that those ribs are sliding in towards each other, so that you're really using your abdominals here to create this lift. Let's go for 5, 4, 1 more exercise in this abdominal sequence. 2, 1, bring your legs to the ceiling and place your hands behind your head. Lower your right leg down and up. Very good. Left leg down and up. See if you can use your thigh muscles here to keep the legs really straight. Even the one pointing at the ceiling stays nice and straight. If you would like to progress this exercise, we're going to lower both legs down and up. You'll notice I don't go very far. That's about as far as I can go before I see my stomach muscles pop up, and then I know I'm fatigued. Let's go for another 5. By all means, go back to the scissor legs this way. 4. Last 3. Good. 2. 1 more. And then hug your knees to your chest and rest. Well done. So that's our abs, our abdominal sequence done. Next, we're going to move into some leg work and arm work. So roll onto your right side, facing the front. We're going to be on our right elbow. I want you to push up through your elbow, lift your chest away from the ground. So I'll tuck that in. None of this is sagging down, all right? We're really lifted through that right shoulder girdle. Stretch your left leg out away from you. And we're going to tap the floor with the left leg and then lift it back up to hip level. Tap and lift. So this leg is directly in line with my hip. It's not forward and it's not back. It's just straight up from the hip. And we'll tap down and lift for another 3. Good. 2, squeezing from the left buttock here. 1, lift and hold. Now we're going to draw a bit of a diagonal line. Come forwards and down to the floor, and then backwards and up. Good. Forwards and down, backwards and up, all the while staying lifted through this right side. Forwards and down, and backwards and up. So now the leg is coming in front of my body, but my hips don't move. And then it's also going back behind my body, but my hips don't move. Let's go for another 5. Very good. 4, squeezing through that left glute. 3 more here. Lift again. Good. 2. 1 more. Raise it back. And here we'll pulse back. Back and up. A little bit of a diagonal. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee down. Well done. Give that a rub, sorry. And now turn your right hand away from you. So my elbow is pointing straight back towards me. It's not wide anymore. We're going to do a tricep exercise for this right tricep. So press through your right palm, lift your body away from the ground. And then lower yourself back down, aiming to point your elbow right back towards your hip. So press up, pause, and then lower yourself back down. So if your elbow points backwards, you won't get the same feeling in the back of that arm. Press up through the palm, through the heel of the hand and down. Try and keep your chest open. Let's go for another 6. Good. 5, 4. Try and imagine that your body is a pretty rigid sort of plank of wood. 2 more here. 1 more. Press up, hold. Let's go halfway down. 5 little pulses. 4, 3, 2, 1. Press up and hold here. We're going to go into the same side kick exercise now, but in kneeling. So we come up, we stretch that leg out, and let's go diagonal forward to the floor and back up. Diagonal to the floor and up. Good. Use your right glute here as well to keep yourself lifted, using the lats here to keep your chest lifted away from the ground. And let's go for 5, 4. I'm going to finish with those same little pulses. 3, 2, 1 more. Lift that leg up and little pulses, slightly back, slightly up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Well done. Okay, turning onto our hands and knees. So let's start with our knees under our hips and our hands under our shoulders. Curl the toes under, and now walk your hands away from you a bit, about another hand length. So the hips are still directly above the knees, but the hands are now in front of the shoulders. And this is so that we don't rely too heavily on our arms. We're going to do some little knee hovers to engage through the abdominals, and then we'll be working into a plank. So keep your hips above your knees. Switch on between the ribs and the hips. Breathe out. Press through your palms and your toes and just hover your knees and hold. 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees back down. So the smaller the hover, the better. Let's exhale, lift. Inhale, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Good. We're going to do 3 more of these. I want you to get used to the feeling of lifting without moving forward and lower. Nice and strong through the chest. Think about your shoulders broadening. Think about your shoulders being wide apart. 3, 2, 1, and lower. I think we might have 2 to go. Let's exhale, lift. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. And then this time we'll hold that hover for 5, and then we'll press forward into our plank. 3, 2, 1. Straighten your legs. End up with your chest over your hands. Well done. Hold here. So we're in our plank now. Push your chest away from the ground. Try not to let your chest sink towards the floor. Squeeze through your right buttock. Lift your right foot off the floor. Put it back down. Squeeze the left buttock. Lift the left foot off the floor and put it back down. So they're not lifting far, just far enough, or just as far as you can without your pelvis twisting or your back sagging down. Let's lift the left foot. Bring it forward between the hands and then press up onto your fingertips. So we're moving into a lunge position. Now make sure your feet are about hip width apart. So if you've crossed over your midline, you can correct that now. Let's press down on our left heel. Feel the left buttock switch on here. And then reach your hands back behind you. Really squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other and hold here. Let's do little bends through that left knee for 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold here, reach the arms forward. Another 8, 7, 6, 5, in 4. We're going to step through. 3, 2, 1. Hold here. Press through that left heel. Bring your right knee up in front of you. Well done. So we're balancing here. We're going to go into our arabesques next. So we fold over, kick the right leg back behind, reach the arms forward, and then press through the left heel, lower the arms down, bring the right knee up. We've got 8 of these. Fold over, reach, good, and then bring that knee up in front of you. So good challenge for the balance, really good challenge for the ankle stability, obviously working the back of that left leg as well. And just really think about those ribs and hips here in the front of your stomach wall. Imagine that there's a couple of springs connecting between your ribs and your hip bones or your pelvis bones that is just shortening through the front of that stomach wall so that you're really engaged through your core as well. I've lost count now because I was talking, but let's do 3 more. Fold over and back. 2 more before we step back into that lunge. Good. And 1 more. Let's fold it over. Hold here, put that foot down, bring your hands back to the floor. Press your left foot back. We're back in our plank. And we're actually going to go into a downward dog today. So push back through your palms. Bring your chest towards your thighs. Try and think of pushing your chest like through your shoulders so it comes towards your knees rather than thinking too much about putting your heels down. It's all about sinking through the chest, and then we'll just pedal our legs out. Get a nice stretch through the back of those legs. Alternating here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right, we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet and then roll all the way up. And then we'll move on to our other side. So come onto your left side now. We are back on our left elbow, on the knees, and we're going to stretch the right leg out. So we're going to start with pushing the chest away from the floor. Again, I'll tuck that in so you can see the waist is lifted. We're tapping the right toes to the floor and then lifting back up just to hip level. Tap and lift. And if you're long through your waist, you'll realize you can't go as far as if you were to sink. So if you're staying really lifted through here, lifting to hip level is plenty. Good. Lift, tap, lift. Be really light on the floor. Imagine there's a little puddle on the ground that you're just dipping your heel into. 2 and 1. Lift and hold here. Let's go to our diagonals, forwards and back. Forwards and back. Last 6 here before we pulse. 5, very good. 4, lifting away from the ground. You have to keep correcting it. 3, or at least I do. 2, 1 more, lift it up and pulse back. Good, lifting through the chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest that knee down. Well done. All right, turn the elbow. So the elbow is pointing straight back towards you. We're still on our sides. We press through the palm, lift the chest away from the ground, and then lower it back down nice and slow. Pressing up and down. And this is where we want to feel that left tricep switching on. If your neck gets sore, you can look down at your hand. That'll be a bit more of a comfortable position for your head to be on. Good, let's go for 6. Very nice. Really push the ground away. 5. Imagine your body's just a rigid kind of board that you've got to press up and down from the ground. 3, 2, 1 more, and then come halfway down. We've got our 5 little pulses here. The pulse comes from the elbow. 3, 2, press up, hold here. Coming up into our side kick in kneeling now. So we lift up, we stretch the right leg out straight. From here, we're tapping forwards onto that angle and back up. We've got 8. Forwards and back. And as the leg comes forward, let the front of the hip fold. So don't let the hip twist forward with it. Everything stays really square through the pelvis. If you had laser beams attached to your pelvis bones, they'd be shining straight forward, not downwards at all. 3, using the underneath glute as well. 1, hold up there, little pulses for 8. We're pulsing backwards and upwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. They're hard. All right, coming onto your hands and knees. So knees under hips, hands can start under the shoulders, and then we'll just walk them forwards a bit so that they're about another hand's width forward from the shoulders. Let's curl the toes under, connect ribs to hips, and when you're ready, breathe out, hover the knees just the tiniest little bit from the floor. 3, 2, 1, lower the knees back down. Really emphasize that you're pressing your chest away from the floor here, so you're strong through the shoulders. 3, 2, 1, and lower. 3 more of these. Can you go back to the start of the class as well? And just remember the length at the back of your neck. So the chin isn't poking forward at all here. You're looking straight down at the ground, and you could imagine like you're holding a little apple under your chin so that you keep that nice position. Let's hover one more time. Hold, and then we'll press forward into our plank on 3, 2, 1, plank. Holding here. Let's squeeze the right buttock, hover the foot off the floor, and down. Squeeze your left buttock, hover your foot, and down. Keep alternating here. Make sure you're connected through the front of your stomach wall so that your back isn't arching. 1 more. Good. And now let's lift that right foot and step it through. Come up onto your fingertips. Nice and light through the fingers. Feel that you engage through this right leg before you try and lift your hands off the floor. Get yourself in the right position. Push down, push the ground away for a moment. Feel that right buttock engage. And then your fingers should become quite light and we'll reach them back. Squeeze the shoulder blades and pulse up and down here. So elbows are really straight. Shoulder blades are squeezing. 3, 2, 1. Reach the arms forward. Another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold here. Press through that right heel. Bring your left knee up in front of you. Moving on to our arabesques. So we kick the left leg back behind, reach the arms forward, test that ankle stability and lift up. The softer your yoga mat too, by the way, the harder this will be. Got a little table there I can put my hands on if I need. Let's do another 6 here. Fold over and then press through the heel to lift yourself back up. So as you're folding, let's picture those laser beams on the hips again. They should be pointing straight at the ground, so no twist. And then on the way back up, push through your right heel and think of the back of your leg doing the work to push yourself back upright. And as we fold, that's when we want to really connect through the tummy so that the lower back doesn't arch when that leg moves back behind us. Let's go for another 3. Very good. 2 more before we go back into our lunge position. And 1 more, let's fold over. Put that left foot down, bring your hands either side of you. Step your right foot back and then push your chest back towards your thighs. Let's pedal the legs out. Good, alternating there, pushing your heels into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's walk the hands back towards the feet again. Plant your heels down. Roll up nice and slow, pressing the ground away through your heels. Restacking your spine 1 bone at a time. Come all the way up, roll the shoulders. And then we're going to lie down on our backs where we began and do our 10 breaths again. So place your hands on your ribs. Close your eyes now. Lengthen the back of the neck. Let the chin drop down, broaden the collarbones, place your hands either side of your rib cage, breathe in. And breathe out. Feel the rib cage move. Inhale, let the ribs expand. And then exhale, let the ribs sink inwards and downwards. Let's go 3 more breaths in and out. 2 more. And just slowly open your eyes. Stretch your legs out. Stretch your arms out. Imagine you're being stretched from either end of your body. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then let it go. And that's the end of class. Well done.